world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
Picks it up on the second, over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And Homer to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell! Deep right center field! Carrying! And it's gone! That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over! What a live shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
All right, welcome everybody. We're here for a AA Monday special edition of Match of the Week. 2 weeks in a row now, I believe we have had a AA matchup on the docket on a Monday. So it's a beautiful thing. Leads you right into football. Ravens and Chargers tonight, I believe. I got a little bit of a dabble in that one because of fantasy, but all that we care about right now is AA baseball. We've got Spliff with us. How are you doing tonight, Spliff? Looking great.
Fantastic, man. Thank you so much. You're looking good too in the Purple Light District over there. I like it. I always like looking on Monday night, seeing that backlight going on. So yeah, big matchup here. Really excited. What is it? We were both here Monday too, right? What are we?
Yeah.
The Monday crew now.
Yeah, we're the new crew. We're the new crew.
Bringing you guys some excitement here on a Monday night.
Yeah, and so we'll get into the keys of this game. It's really a treat for all the AA fans, and really, if you're a AAA player, I think this is a very important matchup to watch because these are two guys that are going to be moved up. I mean, it's very likely they're going to be moved up. And so we're looking at a high-flying matchup, a little bit of a play on words. We've got the Falcons versus the Pelicans, but that's not really why I put that in there. It's because this is number 1 versus number 2 in our power rankings from our roundup show that we just had. Both of these guys have had excellent starts, but in different ways. But regardless, they're sitting at 1 and 2. And what do you think about that strong start that they're both off to, Spliff?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're all that surprised by the two of them being in the top 3, top 4, top 5, with a little bit of musical chairs going on with those 5 guys every week, I think. And again, these are two guys that know each other. They played each other last season as well. I think Preztone swept that season, showed off his power a little bit, got those 5 home runs. I think he had 5 home runs in that series to Easyy's nothing. And yeah, this is the long ballo and the VA favorites right now. I think when you talk about, best pitcher, best hitter, I think Press, the last time I checked, he's averaging like 10, 11 runs a game. That's elite territory. That's, you're with the Snowbirds, during her, AAA season, you're with like the best hitters. I mean, anything over 10 is like just elite hitting. No one else is averaging 10. I don't believe. I think one other team is averaging 9 the last time I checked. I'm just way too much into these stats, I guess, for the house. So, and Eazy is, he's brought his ERA down. I mean, he was already a great pitcher. He brought his ERA down from last season. Yeah, I think 2 whole runs he brought down. But he's still, I think, missing that hitting spark. Me and you talked about a little bit before when we started, where his stats, he reminds me a lot of me the past few seasons. He's got the great pitching numbers, great run score per 9 or runs allowed per 9. But he's the last 2 seasons, and again, I'm gonna let you talk about because you brought this up. It's a great point. But the last 2 seasons, he's been around 4.5 runs, and I'll tell you, that's right up to where you want to be. But you need to cross into that 5-6 run threshold. I think is important.
Yeah, and you can speak with the best of them on that topic when it comes to pitching and working that hitting just up enough. If you can keep your pitching numbers where TooEasyyy has them, he's very much a Von Acison favorite, and he's doing it at the top end of the ego in the AA, which means it's going to be a smooth transition over to the AAA. But They're doing it in very different ways, like you said. He's winning with pitching, and he's only got a middling bat around 4 runs or so per game, which can work. But when you run into someone like Preztone right here, if you're the Falcons and you run into someone like Preztone on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, it can really shock you, because type of guys like Preztone, they're going to get people on base and really threaten you a lot, get you on danger red on the mound, and that's where you really have to show if you are a Von Ace type of guy. You've got to get out of those situations. You've got to prevent the long ball. Like it says right there, he is the long ballo favorite right now, the way that he's scoring runs and putting up runs. But on TooEasyy's side, Prestone's went up 5 ego, and meanwhile the Falcons have only went up 1 since the last ego adjustment. So there is a difference, and a lot of times batting gets the most affected by the ego, so that's a big point. It says ego effect on the Falcons. He's been talking in his streams about how the ego has affected his bat. But how exactly, Spliff, do you think that ego difference of 5 jump is pretty solid for the Pelicans? Is he going to be able to adjust the way that TooEasyyy needs to as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the whole shebang, right? That's the whole thing, and really just a sign of whether or not you're ready to make the next step after that. Because this is still you're climbing the AA ladder, but you are just entering the lower tier of what AAA is expecting from you too, and you're gonna see really with that 5 ego jump. I'm really interested to see how he reacts. Maybe he's ready. Maybe he's gonna surprise the world today, and I wouldn't be surprised if that happened.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to look forward to today. The one bad game against a player like this for TooEasyyy, and you can lose your Von Ace type of lead, and then on the other side, the Pelicans, they can very much lose their long ballo lead facing a player like this. I know you brought up someone's averaging 9 runs a game, probably if I was to guess someone like J3, who's been absolutely destroying the ball as of late. So a lot on the line, not only in the standings, but in terms of seeding with that round robin and getting a bye and things like that. This is a really big middle of the season matchup, and we love to get these AA games on the docket for everybody, so y'all can get your shout out, because y'all are the type of people that are going to move up through the league. I did it myself. I started in the AA, and now I'm up into the XBL, getting pounded in by people like Wishbone. And that's going to be your future, like it or not, if you keep playing the way y'all two are. So we've got the games pre-recorded for y'all because of the scheduling issues yesterday. So we're going to have no issues with DCs and things like that. So we're in for a great AA matchup. And let me switch everything over, and we'll get it right at you. Okay, everyone, we are here loading into Battery Bay. Which team's home? It's TooEasyyy, I think, at Battery Bay, which is not necessarily a pitcher's park. But he's doing well at it, so we'll see how that plays into this game. Let's see who he's got on the mound to start. He's got Happy Arnold with that Elite 2 seam and a lot of velo. This could be a dangerous starter. Looks like possibly his number 1. It's always hard to tell with AA builds. Those guys can do some interesting stuff. And he gets the first out right there on the second pitch. We'll see how aggressive these guys are at the plate. That is one thing whenever it comes to double A's. You see a lot more free swinging. Outside on the 2-seam right there. We'll see how much he works in that elite pitch. Got a red reticle here. Works well for him though, right in the top corner. 1-1 count on the elite on the 4-seam.
Nope, that's outside.
And we are seeing a little bit of patience out of Preztone here in the second at bat. Swings at a slider, pretty nasty down there at the knees. Great pitch from TooEasyyy, and the pitcher Arnold's able to snag it over there at first on some of those plays that seem 50-50. He's able to bring it in right there. We got 2 up, 2 down real quick for the Pelicans. And he swings that one way up high. These match of the week jitters are more so for newer guys in the league than anyone. They know the whole league's going to be watching this.
Absolutely. When you talk about that like ego rise to 100 miles an hour is just going to look like I can't even describe it, like a meteor, you know? It's going to take a bit to get used to it.
All right. Oh, and a 0.2% drop, and it pays off for the Pelicans. He's got just enough speed. Even with that bobble, he almost got him at first, but fast hitter at third. We'll see if that has any effect on the outcome. He's got 2 outs, just a runner at first, but Preztone does have the power. Great changeup outside. 0-2.
Nope, outside.
Couple of red reticle pitches so far. Gets the pop-up right there, and this should be, and it is, the third out, and a clean inning from TooEasyyy. Showing the pitching well right there. Did not give up a hit. It was qualified as an error, so we're on the half inning no-hit watch. And Preztone on the mound with Dustin Legstrong. 5-pitch arsenal, does have the curve, changeup, and fastball. Pretty typical arsenal mixed in with the forkball. Really pretty similar pitchers here on both sides of the mound.
Definitely.
Oh,
I mean, definitely.
gosh.
Oh, wow. Wow.
2 already in the first inning, 0.2% drops. It might be one of those RNG games that Metalhead's given us. And honestly, on Match of the Week, I love that chaotic stuff.
Let me tell you, you know, you got a member of the house in here, and one of the prop bets that I had made yesterday for this series was over or under 1.5 errors.
Oh my gosh. It hits in the first inning on the errors, and now a absolute rocket over between center field and right field. And look at that. Before the first out, the Falcons aren't known for scoring, but he puts 1 run up here early already on the Pelicans. I don't know a whole lot about the Pelicans pitching style. Sometimes batters like TooEasyyy, who average 4 or 5 runs in that area, can really pop off against certain pitch styles. And he's got a good start right here. Ooh, swings at the forkball in the dirt. He goes to third. He's trying to confuse him with the diddle. Not able to do it, though. So there's the first out for the Pelicans after giving up a run before getting anything. Major pain up to the plate. Great stats and fastball hitter. Swings at the first pitch. Inside cutter. Wasn't able to tag up because of the indecision on the base pass. He kind of got caught in the middle right there. RBI hero on for Hawk Tua. You got to look to walk someone like this. Looks like he's going to come at her, though. Oh, 1 count, change up low and outside.
Down.
Accuracy is juice for Legstrong. Oh, my.
I still can't get over those 2 errors. You're talking about 2 teams that do not commit a lot of errors all season. I mean, you're talking like maybe half an error a game or something. I think both these teams are averaging maybe even less than that. And you're seeing 2 errors in the first inning is just astronomical. Astronomical RNG.
Yeah, and on the lowest percent that the game has to offer on that 0.2%. And after a steal on the drop strike, he's not able to convert that runner. The Falcons walk away the first inning with 1 run, and the Pelicans early on in Match of the Week, it's only 1 run, but every run feels huge under the bright lights. They have the bats. I highly doubt that the Pelicans get shut out no matter who's on the mound, but the pitching right now from the Falcons, a great sequence right there. Able to get a strikeout. TooEassyy's a lot like me. When he knows he makes a mistake pitch, he goes straight to that chat well, and he doesn't type as much as you want to type shit. Or whatever the cuss word stands for in this game. You just kind of spam it and hope that they don't rail it over the fence. And that one's up high out of the zone, but because it was middle, Preztone was able to get on top of it, put it down through the infield. So 1 out, 1 on. Back into the order is starting to walk up. Number 7 hole, Christina Mercury. Decent stats, pretty good contact, enough to get on base here and put some pressure on TooEasyyy. He's really focusing on the outside of the zone right now. Now comes inside with a nasty fastball. 2-2. Oh boy. Elite two-seam ties him up, and that's one of those double play balls over to second and on to first, and it's another clean inning for the Falcons. Just had a base runner on first both innings and able to get out of it. And now he comes back up to the plate after we saw some pretty strong hitting. A nice liner in that first inning. We are definitely seeing some chases here, though, from both sides.
Absolutely, and not much better of a start of the game for the Falcons than you can expect here, and it looks like Preztone might be still getting used to the ego change.
Yeah, I think as a primarily someone that leans on the bat, match of the week can be a lot more difficult than a pitcher because I think those nerves hit a lot harder at the plate. So we'll see if Preztone's able to adjust. I know you can see some reaches from AA for sure, but I would expect them to tighten up the zone as the game gets further on and they start to settle in. Cutter inside, good eye right there from TooEasyyy. I want this batter to get back up. Look at this. He's got Army colors on his sleeves mixed with that blue. I don't know how I feel about that, man. Not
Big
sure if that's the move.
guy.
Not sure if that's the move. We do have double blue uniforms right here, which I think it might have been Ox last season that was really, or he might have been on the opposite end of it. Somebody was complaining about home and away uniforms matching in colors, and there's a steal right there, perfectly timed from TooEasyyy. And so we see 2 blue uniforms right here, so we might get mixed up here on the play-by-play. I'm not going to lie to you. Strikeout, change-up on the inside. TooEasyy's trying to keep the zone tight, maybe a little bit too tight right there as he watches strike 3. Pitcher's already locked in, Happy Arnold, and now he comes up to the plate. Swings that one outside for the 3rd out, and there is a 0 on the board for the Pelicans. Ooh, this batter with Ace Exterminator. Don't see it turn on too much, but it's going to be on every time she sees Arnold. Mind gamer as well. Pretty good traits on this bat in the 8 hole. Joe Lee. Also, just far too many mixes of colors. That chick had pink gloves, green sleeves, and a blue uniform. And this guy's got red. I can't, man.
I was just going to say, then the red comes in. You're just throwing us for a loop here.
0-2 count. TooEasyyy really being aggressive right now on the mound, going right at him, and he's got another strikeout right there showing why he is a Von Acison favorite.
Absolutely, and that's part of like I think part of the mindset of a pitcher too is like when you smell blood a little bit in the water, you can kind of like sense a hitter doesn't feel comfortable against you or is not, you know, swinging at the pitches that you're hoping they don't swing at. Then you start really being a little more aggressive, making them prove to you that they can actually, you know, deal with your pitching.
Yeah, and you can see TooEasyyy on the mound looks very comfortable, and you can tell that usually because they start attacking the strike zone the way he is because he trusts his location right now, and that's a scary proposition if you're the Pelicans to have to try to fight that, especially with the way the Falcons right now, they keep getting some runners on the base early. That runner got on first on a ball, but he was able to get it over the first baseman's head, and now it's going to hurt him. He steals, and it's going to turn. Oh, my gosh, another drop. Unbelievable.
What is going on in this game? That is
unbelievable.
3rd error.
What's the fielding? I'm pretty sure the fielding on those people have been all decent. It's a shortstop drop, a second baseman drop. You would expect them to have good fielding, and the Pelicans really unlucky to start this game. If you're the Falcons, you got to take advantage of something like this under the bright lights on match of the week. You've got 2 on, no outs. Swings, another steal. A lot of aggressive base running from TooEasyyy, and he finally gets caught out right there. Negates a little bit on that error.
Easy feels it, you know, he's feeling it. He knows that his runs are lacking, and that's the problem too. I probably wouldn't have in that situation. I mean, Easy knows better than me. Maybe he's timing Preztone right now. Maybe he knows him better as an opponent, but I think he kind of running into outs is problematic in this situation.
Oh my, another looking changeup from him on the right there at the plate. That's twice now. He's gotten some pretty meaty changeup with 2 strikes and just watched him. I mean, I prefer that though. I think it's better to see people watch some strikes than swing way out of the zone. And he does a little bit of both in this inning. After a good start to the inning and a little bit of help of RNG, the Pelicans worked their way out of it. Good job on the mound there, getting out of it. And now he's only down 1 run still. Coming up in the 4th though, TooEasyyy looks very locked in on the mound, still attacking the strike zone aggressively. Happy Arnold's gonna have that velo for a while. Locked in. Tense already as the shortstop at the plate because of the error. Swings way up high. Got a 1-2 count here. This one's going to find the zone. And he misses, and that's a pitch you expect the Pelicans and Preztone to hit. That was pretty inside of the zone, but you can tell he's thrown off right now by Arnold on the mound.
For sure, even something little like that. I mean, that was a cutter, I believe, if I saw that correctly, which takes just a little bit off of the fastball, and he's chucking. I mean, he's still chucking 100 miles. So even just off a little bit, you know, it's gonna throw Preztone off, and he just doesn't look comfortable right now.
Yeah, another swing way up top right there, and it's a mixture right now. If you're the Pelicans, you're struggling being on match of the week as a newer player, then you have to face someone that pitches like this. Very tough ask, but you put up 10 runs a game if you're the Pelicans. You can't expect to win against someone like TooEasyyy with at least scoring, I'd say, half of that. Probably needs about 5 runs to win games in this series. This fastball up top caused trouble. He's able to watch it right there. Arnold up to his 50th pitch here. TooEasyyy gets him swinging. I think that's a 3 strikeout inning. We're on fire watch now for Arnold on the mound. Excellent start through 4 innings. Posted all zeros and plenty of Ks. Ooh, curveball in the zone. Hawk Tua back up to the plate. Doesn't have RBI Hero on. Watches 2 strikes. Stats going down for Leg Strong. Swings into a grounder third base over there for the first out. And this is where you start to do some work at the plate as the starter's losing his stamina, but it's too early to go to the bullpen. This is where, if you're TooEasyyy, you should try to get some runs here in the 4th and 5th inning before that bullpen comes out.
Absolutely. You need to expect, as someone, as an opponent who's averaging 10 runs a game, which I am currently in the middle of a series against one that's doing that you're going to give up runs. You're not going to keep the Pelicans at 0 runs. You're not. Like, the odds say that you're not going to be able to do it. Now, maybe he'll do it in this game. Who knows? But chances are it won't happen. You have to put up a couple more. You got to get that insurance.
Yeah, no matter how great of a pitcher you are, you can't feel comfortable with 1 run against a batter like this. And now the starter Leg Strong locked in on the mound for the Falcons. So we see locked in pitchers on both sides, both with velo in their arsenal. So this is huge for both of these guys. Locked in is bigger on a velo pitcher than anything. Another looking strikeout, and we've seen quite a few Ks so far in this game. After that first run in the first inning before there was any outs for TooEasyyy, ever since then the Pelicans have done a good job holding him down. Still though, he makes his dough at the plate, trying to show a little bit of life. Good eye there, 3-0 count. See how aggressive he gets on the 3-0 count. Whenever you're down like this and you can't produce anything, sometimes you get antsy. He does watch it there, though. 3-1. Composed is on Arnold. Good pitch up there. Full count. And Whiffer is turned on. Uh-oh. And he's able to get it up the middle. That pitch was very hittable. He was able to get just enough contact on it to get someone on. Whiffer trade is dangerous. I'm surprised to really see anybody use it. You want contact at 2 strikes more than any time.
For sure. It's definitely one of those weird, I mean, Whiffer would be more advantageous. I mean, obviously you're using it to get better traits on the other side, but I think it's more advantageous to free swingers. Someone like me who like is rarely might, or relative to the rest of the pitches, might not get to 2 strikes as much as the average player. I'm probably putting the ball in play some way or another. So
double play ball, and the Falcons do it again. They let someone get on for the 3rd time this game, but I don't think a single runner for the Pelicans has crossed to second base. Been stuck at first base all game, and we're in the bottom of the 5th now. Leg strong on the mound, still trying to hold it down. He gives up a leadoff single here. Sprinter, so I would imagine good speed on that leadoff runner with no outs. Happy Arnold comes up to the plate, still just locked in. Get a hit here, and he's probably on fire. But with that freaking uniform combo, I won't expect anything out of him here. He does have black shoes, at least. Another steal. Oh, was it late? I missed the speed. The speed was, on that sprinter, he only had about 70 speed. And now he lines into, I guess that takes the pain a little bit away. That could have been a double play ball regardless. I'm surprised to see Sprinter on 70 speed for the Falcons there. Regardless, another aggressive base running decision, and the Pelicans are able to gun him out. And that one's looped over there to left field. Seems like TooEasyyy is much more one of those type of batters that needs to string 3 or 4 together. Have not seen much power come off of these balls other than that hit in the 1st inning.
absolutely, and that's one of the. Oh, we'll see. Nope, this is gonna get caught. But it's one of those things where, again, this game loves hitters, you know, and this game rewards hitting, and you need to have that tool in your bag to be able to, you know, in one swing get the ball over the wall. And when you don't have that in your bag, it becomes a lot more difficult, because to string together 3 or 4 hits is hard in this game, man. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, against any pitcher. The Pelicans aren't known for pitching, but they sure haven't allowed TooEasyyy to get 3 or 4 hits back to back. He scored his run off of 2 hits back to back. And like I mentioned, really the only hit he had that displayed any power. 2-1 count here. Pitcher is up to the plate. He's going to go for a bunt. It's actually a great bunt. Excellent job from the Pelicans there. Not known as a small baller, but he's feeling that it's getting late and he only needs 1 run. He's trying to small ball something across here maybe. Arnold's at a 1.27 ERA on the season. Absolutely outstanding. 0.64 whip. Looking at the sub, I'm not sure. Okay. Keeps the leadoff batter. Charlotte Barr in with great contact, middling speed. Oh, rattled is the shortstop for the Pelicans. That's tough. How does she get rattled? She's probably struck out a couple times along with that error. That's tough to have your 2-hole rattled.
Absolutely.
Oh, lines over to first. Sprinter's not going to help him here. Runner does go to 3rd, and here she goes. Britt Brooks, she can make up for the error. She's got 9 home runs on the season. Doesn't need a home run here. Just needs to get something on the ground. It's not going to happen. Schreider puts it away. Both shortstops, each team's shortstop, tense and rattled. That's not the position you want to be struggling like that.
Absolutely not. And this is like quite the predicament right now Press is in. I'm sure there haven't been a lot of games where, you know, it's like 1-0 going into the 7th inning for him. We'll see how he responds with the upped ego against Von Acison, who's like made, you know, to the Von Acison contender who's like made for this situation.
Right. Yeah, this game is much more to TooEassyy's favor the way this is going, because a lot of these batters, with how many strikeouts we've seen and how many double play balls we've seen, the mojo is going to be down on a lot of these batters, and that's just going to make it even harder for the Pelicans to try to get a run across. And obviously the Falcons feel a lot more comfortable in a 1-0 game than Preztone does. Here comes Hawk Tua again, the best batter in the lineup. Another camo sleeve player, just absolutely disgusting. Legstrong finally losing a pretty good amount of velo on the mound. Doesn't matter though, gets a chase on the cutter there. Oh, I would have ran that one to first. It's sketchy when you throw him like that, but he gets it regardless. With the way the RNG's been this game, I'm running that crap to first every time. And here's Preztone himself at the 3-hole. Didn't notice that before. He juiced himself up. Respect. Looking to try to tie this game up with 1 swing. Can he be a hero for himself? Here comes a slider. That's well located, and it gets him swinging. 1-2 count. Fastball up top. Hits it weak to the shortstop, tense, but still good enough to get there. First baseman tense, shortstop tense. Jeez, entire team's going to be tense by the end of this outside of the pitchers. I'm surprised they're not on fire yet on both sides. We have seen the strikeouts calm down a little bit.
Definitely. And yeah, I mean, Easy is just, he's locating well, and with that attached with presses, a little bit of uneasiness with, it looks like still getting used to that ego. It's been a recipe for success for Easy.
And another weak pop out here, and Strider's able to get it over there. And now here comes another great batter. First pitch Slayer. We'll see how aggressive he is. He watches that one. Smart decision to go off of the zone there from TooEasyyy. Barely misses the corner. Still locked in, but the velo is dropped now. Pretty mid stats for the pitcher now. Composed helps a lot in these 3-ball counts, though. Fastball up top, he swings under it. Donovan James, just one shot, can tie you back up in this game, and he takes the walk there. Great eye from Preztone. That might be, I think that's only the second walk we've had this game.
For sure, great moment to get that walk too. I mean, he needs to make something happen here. I know 2 outs, but still putting some pressure on the Falcons here.
He subbed out the starter that had the shutout going. He had to have been 1 out away from getting on fire. I mean, his reliever right here, Slinger, very strong. Look at the stats on him. Really good velo, higher junk than Arnold had, and has the elite cutter. This is a tough pitcher to hit. This is why I was saying you need to be scoring runs in the 4th and 5th inning. You don't want to face the relievers. These AA guys build absolutely absurd relievers, I've noticed.
They do. They do.
And they're able to get out of it again. TooEasyyy still has the shutout going for a complete game shutout with a mixture of the bullpen and the starter. I mean, if I'm playing this game and I have a shutout going, I don't pull the starter. Unless the bases are loaded. I love my stats too much. Try to get me that complete game.
I think that's the difference between, you know, like, and I'm seeing Burning Ice talk about it in chat a little bit. There's like a little bit of an understanding from pitchers where you want to be a step ahead of the game, right? And like, I can see why the Falcons wanted to change there. It's a really big part of the game. And ooh, that's a...
Finally, a decently struck ball right there at the wall, almost enough. Battery Bay, I think, is pretty middle of the order in terms of distance, if I'm not wrong, at those fences. Doesn't really have any short corners, doesn't really have any long corners. And obviously you can see they got like 5-foot walls out there, so definitely robbable. I don't know if either of these guys are going to need to rob anything. We haven't seen much more than some infield grounders and some weak pop-ups, but all it takes is good connection on one. That is not good connection, and it grounds out, second out of the inning. I mean, you got to talk about Preztone here, though. He's not known for his pitching, but outside of giving up that 1 run to start the game, done an excellent job on the mound so far to keep the score where it is and just keep himself in the game.
Absolutely, and Press isn't, you know, he's no schmo on the mound either, you know, like he's definitely has some, he doesn't have Falcons type of numbers, but he definitely has some decent numbers. And yeah, this is one of his better pitch games against an opponent that is struggling at the plate as well.
Yeah, and it's a little bit not to be expected to this extent, but it is both of the aces on the mound, so you would expect a lower game in game 1. And we're at the 7-hole now again. Preztone got the back end of his lineup up. Slinger K Collector engages. This is very difficult. Gets a red reticle. Yeah. Hang on, I just noticed, is everyone on TooEassyy's team number 6'9"? I think his whole team is 6'9". Every player I've noticed with a number is 6'9".
Quite the Easter egg. I didn't notice that either.
He's got some Easter eggs. It distracts me from the camo a little bit. At least he subsidizes it with all 6'9" on the unis. 3-1 count. Slinger trying to get this to 2 strikes to activate that K Collector. Preztone watches strike 2, and now here's going to come some speed and a lot of junk. Here comes a screwball. Swings and misses. That screwball with that junk and velo, yeah, I'm sure that thing looks like it's moving all the way across the zone.
Absolutely.
And now the starter comes out for the Pelicans. Still just every time someone comes up to the plate, it's a tying run. He just needs to get one well-struck ball. He's got the power for it. right down the middle of the zone. He finally gets a decent hit. This one might be the first time he can get a runner to second base. He turns back again, and still the Falcons haven't allowed anyone past first base. Good route to the ball in the outfield right there to hold him down, and not a lot of speed over there at first. Going to need a great hit here to do anything. Force him inside, right to the shortstop. Strider, even though she's tense, made a lot of great plays ever since the drop. And another shutdown inning for the Falcons. It's 0-1 here in game one of our AA match of the week. Been a real pitcher's duel so far. Both guys really stifling the other team on the mound. The reliever that comes in for the Falcons has a .8 ERA with pretty mid stats, so obviously Preztone's doing something right with this pitcher. .82 for Demetrius Lowry. And that standard arsenal, 2-seam, 4-seam, changeup and curve. Injury prone, so we'll see if he tears his Tommy John on any of these pitches. Gets him swinging right there on one outside. He got a lot of speed down the path, though, and he's able to get there safe. Mojo is up. I believe that's the shortstop. Finally gets some mojo up, and you want that in a game like this. You need all the fielding and speed you can get.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what he does here, too. He has tried to steal a few times and has been caught, I wonder, and he will get that through.
And he does. Yeah, he had clutch with the 4 bars on that batter. As big of a boost as clutch is going to give you. First pitch prayer. We'll see if he swings right here. I wouldn't with those stats. I combine with tense. Oh, he doesn't even give him anything close. Still tough stats with tense on this batter. Right down the middle, and we do see an aggressive steal. He goes to second instead of third, and he's able to get there safe. Only 1 out and a lot of speed. A decent hit here is going to score 2 and break this thing open. 3 runs if you're the Pelicans is not something you want to face in the bottom of the or in the top of the 9th. He's got to try to wiggle his way out of this. He gets exactly what he needs. Goes to second. Barely safe, and the Falcons get one more chance right here to add some insurance. Major Payne, great batter up to the plate, cleanup spot. Fastball outside, 1-1. And now inside, gets him swinging again. Fastball hitter's not going to save you in that situation, and he catches it over there at first. And here comes Preztone in game one of our AA match of the week. He's got pretty much the tell of the story is rattled batter comes up to start it off. Still, every person up to the plate can change this game right now. If you're the Pelicans, you just need to get one good at bat, one good swing.
That's low.
No doubt he's got it in him. Maybe not this batter, not much power, but good contact. Pinch perfect is on.
And I'm not sure if you were to put this game into like a simulation a million times, you would have ever seen a 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, not really what we expect. This is such a TooEasyyy masterclass on the mound, and on the opposite side, Preztone's shown that he can pitch whenever he has to. And he gets the leadoff runner on right there in the 9th inning. Talk about huge, because now the pressure is on for the Falcons, because not only can this game be tied up, Preztone can completely alter the outcome of this game off of one swing right here and put you down after you've been shut out for 24 straight outs now. Slinger losing a little bit of elo. Yeah, he did sub in a pinch runner. We'll see if he gets aggressive on the base pass. Tough to get aggressive in a spot like this. It's very sketchy to steal. You don't want to lose it that way. Cutter outside. Is it going to find its way through? Second baseman dives over to second, on to first. Too much speed, and he replaces him over there at first base. Now 1 out. Double play can end this ball game. Better speed on first even.
What a play there. Just a game-changing play by the Falcons.
Outside, 2-1. Swings, and that one's going to have a chance for a double play. Goes to second first, back to first on a red throw, and he gets him.
Wow.
And TooEasyyy absolutely shuts him down on the mound. Preztone, probably his first shutout of the year, if I was to guess, and TooEasyyy shows why he's a Von Ace favorite. What an excellent game. Pitching on both sides was absolutely insane.
I mean, you know, they talk about, you know, your Heisman game and your like, you know, your award winning kind of put it on the mantle game. And if if Easy ends up winning Von Acison, this is that game, right? Like this is against the best hitter, 10 runs a game, guy who blew you away last season. You come in and you pitch you spin a 1-0 shutout, 5 hits, and just shut the best offense down. Amazing pitching.
Yeah, great point. You talk about statement game. That is it. He just shut down the long ballo favorite, held him to 0. And on the other side, Preztone mentioned it in the chat. He didn't even have an earned run. The run that TooEasyyy got was off of a fielding error. So that's a little bit of a shock to the system if you're the Pelicans, because you're not used to something like that, and TooEasyyy can win games like that. He's a little bit more used to that sort of game style. So we'll see if Preztone and his Pelicans can adjust here. He's going to be at his home stadium for game 2 after we see a 1-0 finish in our first game for AA match of the week. Give us a second to switch everything over. We got them pre-recorded, so we got them already ready. We'll get it at you here in just a minute. All right, here we go. After a Game 1 victory for TooEasyyy and his Falcons, we load into Lafayette Corner here, home of the Pelicans, and we'll see if they can completely flip this script on their head. We just saw a TooEasyyy type of performance. Now can the Pelicans show what they're all about and put up like a 10 spot? I'd love to see the differential right here. Nice uniforms for the Falcons this time. They still have the camo crap, but I like the uni combo. And then we've got bright green on the mound. For the home team, it's Luciano Maxwell, pretty much the same exact starter as that last one, so it's going to be familiar for TooEasyyy. He's able to get good contact and a leadoff runner the same way Game 1 started.
Absolutely, and I'm noticing, Uni, we got a full house today in the chat. Big ups to everyone coming checking out AA games here. We have like XBL numbers.
Yeah, it is a great show out for AA, and there's another thrown out. TooEasyyy aggressive on the base pass. I mean, you can't hate on him. He's trying to small ball every chance he can get. He actually shows some power right here. It's at the wall. Is he going to jump? He doesn't jump. Great decision out there. Sometimes those are iffy. Dwayne, it was 1-0. The Falcons put on a master class on the mound. Preztone did an excellent job as well. Yeah, Preztone gave up a run, but on a 0.2% drop. So a true pitching battle. And that one's lined over there to second base. We'll see how the fielding is this game. Already hit the over on the errors literally in 1 inning. So you're safe if you made that bet unless we start seeing some reverse. I don't know. Maybe count some dives as a +1. And on the mound for TooEasyyy. He's got the low velo this time. Complete difference from Arnold on the last game. Lover Easy's got high junk, low velo. So this could be something worth noting. The Falcons pretty much saw an identical starter now in Game 1 and Game 2, and if you're the Pelicans, you have to adjust. You just went from high velo for 9 straight innings to now low velo. He didn't have success, though, so sometimes seeing something like this is a breath of fresh air, and he can take advantage of it. Great curveball up top. Here comes the fork down low. Swings, he bloops it barely outside of the reach of the shortstop, and now a leadoff runner for the Pelicans. Last game, the Pelicans did not advance a runner past first base the entire game, so it'd be huge for his mental if he can at least get someone onto second base here. You might even see a steal just to see someone put their feet on second. He doesn't need it, though. He puts it into right field. Already the low velo looking like a little bit of medicine for the Falcons as they've got 2 on, no outs here in the first.
I was gonna say too. I think we're gonna see a different Preztone here. I mean, like 1 game already in your belt. I mean, all the pressure now I think is on the Falcons to try to get this sweep, but we're gonna see Preztone playing a little bit more free, I think.
Yeah, and he has to. If you're the Pelicans, you have to. You can't, even if you keep the run score where they are. If you want to keep yourself in the long ball conversation, you've got to score runs, and that's not going to help him right there. Grounds into a double play. TooEasyyy did that 2 or 3 times last game, and now he does it to start the game here after a little bit of danger. Got on the base pass. But like we talked about, it's not only standings and pride and everything on the line that would come with the match of the week. The Von Acison conversation is very much still in reach for the Falcons, but if you're Preztone, you can't get shut out twice in a row here and still win the Von Acison, the long ballo, with the way the rest of the league has been starting to come up on his tail in the batting department.
Absolutely. I mean, this is I think it's time to put the pedal to the metal here and just see what you're made of at this ego. I know it's new ego, it's tough. You got the best pitcher here. I think he's capable, though. You know, like I think he's still gonna surprise us here in this game. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and the Falcons swing at one way low right there for the 3rd out. Sorry. So a shutout inning in the first for both teams, and now the Pelicans come back up to the plate. I've noticed for the amount of runs he has in this season, he doesn't have a whole lot of power up and down his lineup. More so it's a contact build. So that just shows he's able to strike the ball extremely well and able to get the maximum power on his swings. Red reticle works out well right there. 1-1 count. Fastball outside, 2-1. Pick officer on this pitcher as well. We'll see if the Pelicans take advantage of that, if they can get some base runners on. And he gets one on right here on a walk. Curveball missed way up high. Hang on, I gotta check something. What number is this pitcher? Okay, just number 9 this time. All right, he had me thrown off. I saw the 9. I was like, okay, maybe it really is 6'9" for the whole team. Deep shot to center field right there. That's the best hit so far in this series, though. If you're the Pelicans, that's the deepest he's hit a ball yet. He's got enough speed combined with pick officer here. You got to think about stealing. We'll see if he does. I don't think we've seen but 1 steal so far out of the Pelicans, if that. Might be 0 steals. Obviously, Lover has done an excellent job still. 2.25 ERA so far this season. Arnold had like a 1 ERA, so that very much the numbers back up the Von Acison conversation. But he's got 2 walks here after the deep fly out. And here comes the pitcher. 2 outs, 2 on, trying to help himself out. We're really seeing him tighten up his eye. Oh, swings at 1 outside. 1-2 count now. Maxwell desperately trying to get a run. First run of the series. Swings at 1 way up high. We've seen him swing at those quite a bit in this series. Watches that one. 2-2. Foul him away. Staying alive. Full count. He does steal, but it's not going to matter. He lines it to Strider over there, and another. He escapes a little bit of a jam again. TooEasyyy allowed 2 runners on and back-to-back innings to start this game. That's a good sign, though, if you're the Pelicans. He's producing a lot more danger on the base pass already in this game than he did before.
Absolutely.
Better field. The second baseman who actually did make a great fielding play to save that game in the last one comes up to the plate. Number 4. Okay, I just happened to see 6'9" on back-to-back pitchers and thought his whole team was 6'9", but I guess not.
Wishful thinking.
Man, what could have been? There's nothing more I love to see than a team of 6'9s. Grounds out right there. 2 outs now. Maxwell locked in on the mound. Back-to-back games with locked-in absolute monsters on the mound for Preztone, and that's going to be blooped over to the left field. If you're Preztone, the pitching arsenal and builds that he has on these starters so far, at least on 1-2, I'm not sure about 3-4, but what an excellent combo to be able to put up 10 runs per and then have starters like this on the mound.
Right, absolutely. A dream, as they say.
Yeah, imagine being able to score 10 runs, but also having good pitchers. Pops that one up. Only 58 power on that swinger. It might have been a little bit more dangerous. For the third out, and the Pelicans so far have locked the Falcons down. If you go back to the very first game, the Falcons scored a run before there was an out. So the Preztone and the Pelicans have gone, what, 12 innings now without giving up a run? And I guess on the same side, if you look at TooEasyyy, it's been like 12 innings. So there's no way it gets held at 0-1 or 0-0 type stuff again. 2-2 pitch, fork ball, low, swings at it anyways, and there's the first out of the inning. TooEasyyy has done an excellent job on the mound getting Preztone thrown off. I mean, it's easy to look at this series so far and wonder how Preztone's scoring 10 per, but the way TooEassyy's pitching, he's really got him thrown off.
Absolutely, just the prowess of a pitcher, you know. It feels very comfortable up there. And I know it, you know, like I just feel very comfortable on the mound. Like I feel like everything's in cruise control, and I see a lot of that in Easy style on the mound as well. And it's showing through both of these games.
Right. I think the one big difference I'm seeing compared to some of the other AA guys that I've watched throughout this season is TooEassy's very willing to throw some balls. A lot of times the AA guys that I watch, they really pound the strike zone come hell or high water. It doesn't matter how many runs they're giving up. They just pound the strike zone.
For sure.
But TooEassy's doing a great job of pounding it when he needs to, but now that he's got Preztone off a little bit in back-to-back games, he's making him watch some pitches, and now he gets a leadoff runner, so things are starting to look pretty good for the Falcons here. He's shown one run can win him a game. He's got good speed at first to lead off. Middle of his order. Maxwell back to neutral on the mound. Good pitch on the inside there. Gets him on the changeup, might be a double play ball, and he tags him, and he needed to with that speed coming down the line. Excellent play from Preztone right there in the field. Great decision to tag there instead of going to second. And now he gets a weak pop-up right here. Good pitch, low and inside for the third out, and it's starting to look a lot like game one here, Spliffy. It sure is.
Absolutely, just another tight game about the pitchers. Preztone, you know, like I'm impressed by his pitching too, man. It's not like the Falcons are averaging 4.5 runs a game. It's not like, you know, they're not scoring anything, but it looks like just a pitching duel of the ages going on here.
Right, it's easy to harp on TooEassy's pitching because we're getting to see his location and the way he's mixing pitches and things like that, but Preztone, no doubt, has completely matched that Von Ace level of pitching in this series so far. Early dive, bounces off of the Cooch, and it's over to first anyways. 2 outs now. Bounces off the Cooch.
By the Cooch, as they say, I guess.
It didn't register in my mind until I said it, bro. I'm like, hang on, bounced off the Cooch. Let's keep it family friendly in here. We already cut out that 6-9 talk. Strike on the inside, 3-1 count. Swings. A couple of decently struck balls there, though, if you're the Pelicans. The Pelicans do look like they're hitting the ball much better in this game. It was a lot of weak stuff in the first game. He's hitting some better, powerful shots. In the first at-bat of that inning, when we were talking, he actually got one of those nuclear sounds. It just went right to the shortstop. If he can get a little bit of elevation, the way he's been pitching so far, 1 run might be enough for the Pelicans. It might not be the way they're used to winning, but you take them how you can get them on Match of the Week. Swings outside, and now Preztone, he's very much taking a page out of the Falcons book right here. Both these guys seem to pitch really similarly right now, really making these guys keep it tight on the zone. And so far, neither guy at the plate has really been able to do that. And that's why there's so much weak contact right now. Maxwell locked back in. You hate to see that with that velo, junk, and screwball mixture. This is a tough pitcher. First baseman snags it back over to first. Good fielding on that pitcher. That's like 3 or 4 times we've seen pitchers catch it in a row going to first successfully. So the game's really corrected the RNG that we saw at the beginning.
I was going to say, it's a law of averages working out here as intended. We had a couple home run props going on too, and you know, we were banking on some home runs these games. We might not even get one.
Yeah. What was that number at? Maybe, I mean, with the way Preztone hits, it had to be a decent number.
Yeah, well, it wasn't on the numbers. It was more on, like, you know, details, like what was the longest home run going to be over a certain amount, under a certain amount, and then I think the other one was I can't remember the second. Oh, or who was going to hit the longest home run of the two players. So yeah, we need a home run for either of those to matter. As of right now, they don't.
Yeah, so far the longest home run is exactly 0 feet. Good changeup on the inside right there. The low velo, the way Preztone started off, he loops that one, hang on, down the line, and then he might get someone to second here to lead off the inning. Not a great arm. Prestone's been extremely safe on these base paths. Completely opposite from the Falcons. He hasn't seemed to take any extra risk on the bases on those outfield bloopers. But like I was saying, Preztone really jumped on this pitcher early in the game. He had a couple of good hits and before there was even an out, and I thought maybe the low velo was going to cause some issues, but TooEassyy's done a good job of switching up his pitching style, it seems like, and now even with low velo, he's showing that he can pitch well. Don't do the mid-at-bat sub, bro. And he doesn't. Respect.
I think more of like just an idea of what's coming up behind this hitter. See, maybe he'll take a little more freedom to throw balls if he can walk the hitter, and just something we tend to do a lot. When you see us pitchers pausing randomly, we're looking at your lineup. You know, that's mainly what we're doing. We're seeing who's coming up next, lefty versus righty, switch hitters. We're planning everything out.
Change up way outside, gets away from him, but he turns back to first anyways, and we got a full count here now. Decent batter at the plate. Swings way up top, and that's going to turn into a double play. Yet again, the Falcons turn a double play after an early base runner from the Pelicans. Doing an excellent job of throwing pitches where he needs them when people get on base. Pitcher back up to the plate. Maxwell is locked in for the Pelicans, so he's going to stay in. Swings over to third there. Yeah, and like you said, Spliff, a lot of the great pitchers, they're going to go and look a batter or two ahead. But you've also got those guys that'll just pause just to play with your mind.
I wouldn't know anything about that now.
Yeah. I'm talking to Ice. I know he's in here. I saw that on AAA Match of the Week. You did a little pause and did absolutely nothing but go back in and pitch.
No, inside.
Ooh, screwball finds his own right there. The stats have not dropped at all. Only 48 pitches for Maxwell on the mound. Done a good job getting swings. That one's hit deep. Left field. Does TooEassyy have it over the wall? He jumps, but Pelicans can't catch it over there. And now, in a game like this is danger red because it's 0-0 and you've got no outs with some speed on second base. We'll see if the pitcher gets pulled here, smelling a little bit of blood in the water, but he keeps him in.
No, outside.
Yeah, I read that, Ice. I'm sure, brother. I'm sure that's what it is. Good strike on the inside there. 1-2 count. 2-2 now. Lover Easy trying to help himself. Ooh, went for the hit and run on a pitch that was very much playable. Good eye there, full count. He's not going to walk the pitcher, surely. Comes at him, a pitch that was close. We'll see if he gets another one to swing at here. Yeah, it was right there on the top of the zone. Great pitch from the Pelicans and Preztone right there. Oh, and he gets it through the gap. The pitcher does what he needs to do at the plate. Not something you would expect. And now we're playing a little bit of mind games on the bases, but he's just going to hold him at the corners. And uh-oh. If you're the Pelicans, you've been shut out for 2 games straight now, and there is a Pretty good amount of speed at first, some good speed at third, and the front of this order is coming up. This is a tough spot if you're Maxwell, and he's looking at the pin. Decides to keep in that ace.
Absolutely. And if I'm the Falcons, I'm taking a breath here, man. You know, like I have hit into some weird outs. There's a steal.
Oh, almost gets him at third, but he doesn't. I think he was thinking he might go
absolutely.
home.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that works. Oh, and that one's just going to be enough. It's practically a bunt, and he's safe at first with the speed. Turns back to third, and now runners on the corners, and one run does come across, and the Falcons small ball a little bit, if you want to call it that. Got a good reticle on that ball, like 8 inches off of the zone. Sometimes the game gives you some toss-ups when you do that. Clutch is on, 3 bars, getting a good boost, and now he goes second. He gets this safe steal. Preztone more worried about that runner on third. Down the line, and once again, this one's probably going to turn into a hit again. Two swings that were just not well hit turn into bunts, and that's painful if you're the Pelicans because there's still no outs in this inning. And we do see the SPRP coming. I'm surprised we don't see whatever Hossey has in the pen. Another steal. Does go to second, a little bit behind though, and he's safe. And that's 3 successful steals in this inning for the Falcons. Things are starting to unravel a little bit if you're Preztone. Loops that ball into a bystander's chest. And now a strikeout, and that's big if you're Preztone. And a batter like this is one of those situations you might look at walking and setting up a double play, but he's going to come at him. We haven't seen an intentional walk yet, so I'm not surprised by it. And if you're TooEasyyy, you got to be careful here. You really want to swing with this guy, but don't waste your opportunity. And he's able to get on top of one. He's got fastball hitter engaged on that 2-seam. Gets it up the middle just enough to get 2 runs across. And this game is really opened up.
Humongous hitting there by the Falcons to kind of blow this open a little bit, actually, relative to what the runs we've seen. Still not, you know, insurmountable here, but definitely an area where the Falcons have been struggling, and they're closer to their game average now. So this is nice to see.
Yeah, if you're TooEasyyy, the games you score 4 or 5, you typically win. So he's feeling much more comfortable now than he was in game 1. And if you're Preztone, you gotta keep this thing at 4 because you know Slinger is coming in for the Falcons at any sign of danger. And Slinger had a crazy arsenal, a lot of stats, and he also had K Collector. Not something you want to try to put up 4 or 5 runs against. That one's popped up left field. A great inning from the Falcons there to break this thing open. We'll see if he can keep the shutout going. If you're the Pelicans, it's time to show out. You've only got 4 innings left. You've been shut out for 2 games. You got to show what you're all about. Show that you are indeed a long ballo type player. I'm sure there's nothing more he wants to do than exactly that. He's got number 1 up in the order. Try to clap back in the same inning. XVIII still on the mound, locked in. Stats are pretty much exactly where they started. Gets a pitch to swing at there, hits it foul. Swings at a changeup inside, now 1-2. Fouling him away. Hard to stay patient at the plate whenever you're down 4 runs on a match of the week, no doubt, especially the way game 1 went. That's an excellent way to start it, but Field over there with an excellent play, but Sprinter is all too much speed, and the leadoff runner is on. We've seen this story before in this series. The Pelicans have done an excellent job getting some lead runners on, but man, here comes Slinger.
How did that second baseman even glove that ball, man? Like, that was insane.
Yeah, that was maximum reach. 1 less point of fielding, and that one was through.
Yeah, for sure.
But like always, Sprinter saves him. Sprinter's very much cheesy. Ooh, good pitch right there. Now it's a full count. Worked his way back and activated K Collector. Tough to sit on anything. He doesn't sit on it, and it's a pop-up. What would have been ball 4? I don't blame him. That screwball with those stats. Absolutely detrimental. Really difficult. Maybe the most difficult, if not one of the most difficult pitches to hit in this game. And a good job from the Falcons getting a chase on it, putting in a location like they did. Getting a little bit loose on the mound now, though. 3-1 count. Right down the pipe, and he swings, hits another one foul. A lot of foul balls right now from the Pelicans. Their reticle, you would think, is just a little bit off. Great eye on that cutter outside. Wow, Preztone really showing off the eye. I'm not sure if that was luck or skill. We're going to call it skill. What an excellent, excellent at-bat of working his way into that walk.
That's a strike and a half, my friend.
2-1. You are seeing the patience come into play now. Another great pitch on the outside, and K Collector again is on. And Screwball again gets him swinging. That pitch is such a kill shot right now for Slinger.
There's some nasty pitches with the K Collector activated. Just makes it so much harder.
He's got 2 on. You desperately need this. It's 2 outs, but you desperately need this at bat right now. Whiffer is on. K Collector is on. Outside, swings up high. Another one foul. So many foul balls this inning. Fastball up high. It did end up in the zone, but 101, too much heat with that K Collector. And Preztone, once again, shows a little bit of danger, but he's just not able to produce anything out of it. TooEasyyy, very Ricks-like a couple years ago when he made his AAA championship run. It seemed like he gave up a lot of base runners, but was always getting out of it, and that's exactly what TooEasyyy is doing in this series.
Definitely.
That's my one OG bring up for the day.
You bet that's a strike.
OG, if you want to call it that, 2 seasons ago is like half of my lifespan. Leadoff runner is on for the Falcons. Tense on the mound is the SPRP Oakley.
You bet that's a strike.
Any sign of danger, I would imagine we see a reliever. You don't want this thing to get up over 4. You're already struggling enough. Change up inside, hit well, 98 power. Reticle is not going to be quite good enough, and he's out at the warning track. We've seen a few balls reach that warning track, but not a ton. That was pretty well Reticle, just slightly off. Must have been pretty low power. It was the 8-hole up. Slinger stays in, just came into the game, so hits that one up top. Going to be the second out, still holds the runner at first. Preztone himself is the left fielder. 2 for 3, 2 singles and an RBI. P. Strider, a much better game after the errors she had in game 1 and being tense by the end of it. Put up an RBI and made a difference in this one.
That's a strike.
0-2 early. Neutral back on the mound is Oakley Hugh. 8.71 ERA, that's tough. But he does a great job in this inning.
Wow,
4 up, 3 down, and he's able to escape it with a 0. Fireball Max is in the chat saying he's sleepy. Well, for people that love pitching, this is an excellent game. Both guys have been pitching extremely well. Even Preztone giving up those 4 runs, it came off of some really kind of some BS. It was just some bad hits that turned into bunts that worked out in TooEassyy's favor. And he might win it the same way he won game 1. Hang on, deep center field.
Wow.
Preztone, he finally shows up to the series, and he does it in a loud fashion. That's who he is. He finally shows. He's got some power.
430 on the dot. Oh my lord, that's one of the props. 430 or higher or lower.
Really?
Oh my lord. Right on the dot.
Now, can it spark something for the Pelicans? It's been 2 games of getting shut out. Finally, he gets good contact on one, and once again, he gets good contact.
Oh my.
Is it over the wall? And the Pelicans have arrived. Back-to-back home runs, and they've shown up to match of the week here. 400. We're getting some nice round even numbers.
Unbelievable. We have a game here, folks. We have seen the big bats waking up at the perfect time.
Yeah, better late than never. He shows up with back-to-back home runs. Still no outs in this inning. Johnson Slinger on the mound, tense. You pretty much got the best reliever for this Falcons team about to have to come out of this game soon. And if you're the Pelicans, you've started to hit the ball now. You got to keep this thing going, especially if he's going to keep this reliever in with those stats. He's going to go to a pinch hit here, pull out the SPRP.
Now batting, Jimmy Armstrong. Strike.
Pinch perfect is on for the pinch hitter.
That's outside.
Screwball not near as effective, it looks like now. Ooh, gets him swinging on that cutter up top. I think it was just above the zone. You can see the Pelicans desperately wanting to just put another home run on the board after those first two. You start getting those antsy feelings like you can do it again. Slinger, after giving up 2 home runs, though, gotten a couple outs, might work his way out of this inning. Accuracy dwindling is definitely causing some problems right now. If you're Preztone, you got to be careful. And he swings that one up top on a 1-1 count for the 3rd out. So the Pelicans do finally strike and make a little bit of noise on match of the week after getting shut out in game 1 and then shut out for 6 innings. He puts up 2 right there in the bottom of the 7th for the home crowd. Makes them happy to finally see something here. And now, if he can hold it back down on the mound, he very much is in this ball game. Typical match of the week from the league office. Another close one. Back-to-back close ones.
Absolutely, and you know what we expect from 1 and 2. I guess close ones. Maybe not with as many. Definitely didn't have as many runs as we expected, but definitely as close as we expected that to be in the pregame.
Yeah, we expected it close, but not necessarily in this fashion. It's really hard to predict any series like this where it's a top-end pitcher and batter. You never know which extreme is going to win out. And now, once again, a weak hit from the Falcons turns into a base hit. And mojo went up because of that. That's one of the things I don't really like about this game. It's a bad hit. Oh, hang on a second. He gets tagged out. The Pelicans have done an excellent job. After giving up a few steals in the first game, they started to lock it down. And now they gave up a few steals in this game, and we see him pick off at the right time. And he's able to get a quick inning right there. And that's what you need with the momentum starting to tilt. Get on the mound and off of the mound quickly, because I'm sure he feels a lot more comfortable at the plate right now. He's got a couple of innings. He's got a chance here to try to do something. Hey, look at that. Stimulated actually worked for somebody on the Falcons. I didn't know it actually existed. I thought you just put it on a player just to look at it. God, he's got a beast closer too. Tough spot here for the Falcons. Another tough reliever comes into this ball game. Ooh, it's barely gonna stay in for the 1st out. This is the middle of the order for Preztone here. If you're gonna score, this is your best opportunity to do it. Swings at the slider way low. Ooh. Clutches on this reliever too, a nasty closer. And now he swings up high, right back to the pitcher. We saw him swing at 3 straight balls right there, so you can tell Preztone is very much not thrown off per se, but sometimes you stretch the zone a little bit when you see a pitcher like this come in. That one's hit well, though, left field, and now we're going to have the tying run at the plate, and we've already seen a couple home runs so far. Can Preztone add one more? And Donovan James is the guy to do it. Great stats with that first pitch slayer. He doesn't want to get into a 2-strike count, though. The whiffer has caused some problems in this series. Good eye outside.
Pressure locked in, too, is a humongous spot.
He's looking. He's not sure if he wants to pitch at this guy with two balls on him now. Yeah, that pitcher's like 90 junk, 90 velo. Slider inside, 3-0. Good pitch up top. We'll see how aggressive he gets here or if he's willing to walk. Way up top, and as much as Preztone wanted to swing right there with that juiced batter, he can't. And choker is on. Man, the trades for the Pelicans has been really tough. He's had whiffer be up in some big spots. Now he has choker up in a big spot. This shows why trades can really have a huge impact on the game and why that roster tool is so intricate. But, oh, what a great jumping catch from Strider over there at shortstop. That saves a run, possibly 2. That would have changed everything.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 69.
A few big fielding plays from TooEasyyy and the Falcons have kept this game where it is and this one. And then last game he had a great dive from the second baseman to keep it at 1-0. The fielding has been on display here in AA Match of the Week. Top of the 9th now, 2-run differential. It's really still been a pitcher's duel in both games. Outside of one inning for both teams, they were able to put up runs. But other than that, it's been complete pitcher dominance. Look at the reliever on the mound now. I didn't catch it when they came in. They're at 11 pitches already, but this is a juiced reliever as well. You got to use that stimulated. It never happens. Bring in mustard.
Mustard.
I would prefer if it was mayonnaise, but we'll take the mustard. I want to see it. And he does come in, stimulated. Yeah, it's the only time this season it's going to happen. That's just how stimulated works. You get him one time, and it never matters. I'm not hating on it, though. I have a stimulated also because I love gambling.
Yeah, I think that's the gambler trait for sure.
That's a strike and a half, my friend.
Yeah, I'll probably call the hotline after this season because that thing has not worked for me in like 4 seasons. And a ground out from the stimulated catcher that came in. I'm pretty sure that catcher came in for the left fielder too, so he's going to have to make some decisions when he comes to the field. And in a 2-run game, that could be a big decision. Preztone, it's over his second baseman's head, and so there will be a runner on. Better field comes up if the Pelicans can get out of this and keep it at a 2-run differential. They've got one more shot with 3 outs to play with. We've seen him get people on base, and we've also seen some home runs, so I think he very much has it in him. Gets him swinging to the shortstop over there for the 3rd out, and here we go, bottom of the 9th. TooEasyyy looking for a sweep, and the Pelicans looking for a split on match of the week at their home stadium. Back into the order is up. 3 outs to play with, needing 2 runs. Can the Pelicans do it here on match of the week? Give us a movie-esque moment. It's going to be tough against this closer. Good slider on the inside, 0-2. Swings, pops that one up. Second baseman going to range all the way over there. Center fielder, he says, get out of here, bro. And there's the 1st out. Here comes Joe Lee. Ace Exterminator has worked more than I think I've ever seen it in one series. That's AA baseball for you. You're going to see a lot more A- players. But there's the 2nd out. Only 1 out to play with now if you're the Pelicans. If he can get a hit here, he's going to have number 1 up. He's going to have a good shot at it.
They're just about getting on base right now. Don't try to do anything crazy. Try to get on the bag.
Oh,
What
down
a pitch.
0-2. This one's going to find the zone. He hits it. It's up the center, and he is going to have the tying run come up to the plate now. This is what you want in match of the week. It's going to come down to possibly the final out. The Pelicans. And Charlotte Barr comes up. No power, but you can't worry about that right now. Like Spliff said, get someone on base here. Keep it going. Closer has lost his stats. Good eye, 2-1.
Hell of an eye.
3-1. Great patience from Preztone in a big spot. Ooh, and he almost got a hold of it down the left field line. It's going to be foul. Full count, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. It's going to find the zone. He swings it foul. We see another pitch. He's playing the mind games on him, going slow. Here comes a fastball. It's red reticle, and it's popped up. Is it going to find its way into the dugout?
Unreal.
And it does,
oh,
just
my
barely.
Lord.
One more shot at it. Come on, Preztone.
Crazier things have happened.
The most pauses I've ever seen in one at-bat, but we're going to see it end eventually. Slider up top, very hittable. Foul again. Preztone staying alive. This one's inside. Does he swing? And he does. Another foul ball. Come on, Preztone. Do something. Give it to us. Swings that one up and away, and it's going to be to the 3rd baseman. 1st baseman puts it away, and we see a sweep from TooEasyyy and the Falcons. Preztone and the Pelicans put up a fight right there at the end of the game, but not quite enough against the Von Ace favorite. Great sweep from TooEasyyy and the Falcons on AA match of the week.
Absolutely, just an amazing. Again, I think we all kind of knew the Falcons were capable of that kind of output on the mound, at least. And oh, I turned my camera off here. I'm sorry. Let me show you guys my pretty face.
Let us see that beard.
Oh yeah, the
beard.
clean beard. Am I back on? All right,
You're back
perfect.
on.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, we saw we knew the Falcons were capable of that kind of pitching output. But what we weren't so sure of was against a hitter like Preztone, especially again, last year was kind of a down pitching year for the Falcons. I think this year they're looking a lot better. They're looking like a VA contender. Up against a juggernaut hitter, and again, big ups to Press. I mean, it's again big ego jump. He did a great pitching job himself. I think kept the Falcons under their average over the 2 games. But really, what else can we say? That was a statement series from the Falcons, much needed. Probably vaults them back up into the top 3 conversation. And then yeah, it lays a really exciting rest of the season.
Yeah, very, very exciting at the top end of AA right now. And if you're TooEasyyy, you desperately needed a sweep like this because he's been falling a little bit in the standings, struggling just a little bit. He only went 1 up in the ego, but the way he was talking, it messed him up a little bit. So the way he's able to come in here and pitch the way he did against the top AA batter in the league, absolutely outstanding. And then if you're Preztone, you really showed AA that you can pitch extremely well as well, which is a tough look for the rest of AA because Preztone, I highly doubt, is going to be kept to these sort of run totals again this season. His bat's going to catch back up. Well, he had that 5 ego bump, which we really didn't mention enough during that game. It seemed like his reticle was just a little bit off, which is really what happens when you go up in the ego. We saw a ton of foul balls from him, but his pitching didn't look like it laxed at all. He really pitched extremely well. So an absolute pitcher duel in the AA match of the week this time. And if you're TooEasyyy, you just got a great bump to your standings against a great opponent. If you're Preztone, now you've got to jump back on that horse and try to get back on track in your next series.
For sure. And I mean, unless you saw the double, I mean, you're spot on, Uni. I can't say much more than what you just said. I mean, if it's like, again, if you want to think about where Preztone is with his hitting and whether this was just a lack of his hitting versus the Falcons pitching, just go look at his last series. The dude put up he just had a series of almost 30 runs. You know what I'm saying? Like he put up like 15, 16 runs in the last game he played before he faced the Falcons. And I'm pretty sure he was at the same ego. So that's not what we're going to see from Preztone for the rest of the season. I think it's scary when you see a hitter of that caliber pitching that way. I think it adds another level of kind of like fear. Like you have a little bit more to worry about now when you face Preztone.
Yeah, it's really kind of opposite the way you look at these two guys coming out because I think there's positives on both sides. Even though it's a sweep, if you get swept by anyone even around you in the standings, it's really not that big of a deal is the way I look at it because they showed they're both super tightly matched players, so it's easy. A sweep could go either way. If they played again, I would not be surprised to see Preztone go with a sweep. So if you're TooEasyyy, the rest of AA is looking like, oh man, I don't want to face this guy in the playoffs. The way he just pitched and the way I know pitching rules in the playoffs a lot of times, especially in AA, pitching can really rule all. And we saw TooEasyyy make his march to the finals last season because of his pitching in the playoffs. But if you're Preztone, even though you got swept, you have to look at it like, wow, I think I found something on the mound, and I know my bats are going to be better than this on average. So it's really 2 opposite ends of the spectrum, and both of them compound to, I'm sorry for AA, because these guys look like they're going to be a problem for the rest of the league. And that's why we have AA Match of the Weeks, because not everyone watches their streams as much, and you get to put them on the spotlight here. And you see AA is full of great players as well, just like the AAA and the XBL. We saw excellent fielding plays. We saw a good job of holding down base runners, and we saw an excellent job stealing. And then like Preztone did, we saw some power from these guys. So AA is in a great spot, and the top end looks scary with these two guys. The rest of the league, if you're looking at making a playoff run, you gotta watch this VOD over and over and over and figure out, okay, what worked and what didn't. So after a couple of great series yesterday on our Sunday normal edition of Match of the Week, we see a great AA Match of the Week tonight, and really every series we've had on Match of the Week this season has been excellent. So It was fun, and we've got, I think football already started, and I need Derrick Henry and Lamar to give me 50 points tonight to keep my 10-win streak going, slight flex. But it was nice being in here with you, Spliff. You have any last words before you hop up out of here?
No, that's it. It was fun as always. And if you guys are bored, you're looking for some more baseball, me and Coffee are going to finish our series. So
Excellent
definitely jump into the Spliff Twitch, and we'll get another game, a high tension game going on for you guys.
Yeah, I know I will. That's my Sunday, Monday, Thursday, even sometimes Friday and Saturday with the NFL ritual. Throw on a football game on the TV and throw on a streamer from the league on my phone and watch them both, and it's great. So, yeah, that was fun as always. Me and Spliff apparently are your new Monday night staples, so if we got any more match of the weeks, we'll be in here. Thanks for watching, everybody. We had a really great turnout for AA, and I think they gave us excellent games to back it up. So, we will catch you on the Discord. I believe the power rankings are about to be put out as soon as I get my crap in because I'm late right after this show. So, see who the big move up and move downs are. See if you're one of them. Until then, we'll catch you on the Discord. Good luck in your series, everybody. Thanks for watching.